Guess I need to. Yay. Here I am. Good morning. I don't know. Like that looks like I'm gonna start off with this one. It's not even remotely empty. I hope everybody's doing well. Good morning. Good Friday morning. Welcome to Weird and WooWoo, where I am weird and we get woo-woo. So it's kind of in the name. If that's not your shtick, hello. Then by all means, you've been warned. Okay. So yeah, I was doing a lot of just getting ready. This is what you get when I get ready, right? Like, no, I was just like doing a little getting ready and stuff. There really wasn't a lot, although it felt really good. It felt really good. Like I was just like, it felt like no resistance. I got to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Not tired, not rushing, ready and prepared for the day, happy to get going. Like, I don't know. There was that energy. And a lot of times my energy gets impacted by the message I'm about to come in and do. And I was like, it just felt good. Like, it would be like the Six of Cups, like that return to joy and just pleasure in things and in life. So, when you're moving through life without resistance, it matters. It matters. So I don't know where this is going to go, guys, is basically what I'm saying. Like, that's what the energy was prior to coming on. It may have not a thing to do with anything. So let's figure it out. Let's dive in. Grab your cup of coffee, tea, matcha, wine. I don't care, whatever you like. No judgy judge. Okay. And let's dig in. So when we do coffee and tarot, it can be a hot minute. This is just what we do. We let the story just unfold. Okay. So cozy on up, sit on your front porch. Let's see what spirit has in store. It just feels good. I'm going to do the Archangel Tarot. We're going to start with that. Ooh, there might be change in work. We've got the Knight of Air, which is the Knight of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. How's everybody? Hey, Trey, or Terry. I almost called you Trey. Where is Trey? Motherfucker ain't been around in a little bit. Life's been busy. What is those? Oh, that's a fish. The animations they come up with, can I just say? All right, let's keep going. Seriously. Well, all right, that was fairly okay. I'm getting the energy of just loving life. When you just love life, you're perfectly content with whether something exciting is happening or whether it's just the mundane, or it's like a peaceful energy or a peaceful, like, whatever you're doing. If you're stuff, like, you're okay with any of it, right? You're just good. I'm getting like a love of life. We got the Ten of Swords that runs right into the Ace of Swords. Like, they were not mincing words. When they're talking about the end of something and it's the turning over a new leaf is what they just said. Like, the turn is happening. The wheel is turning. You're going from the 10 to the Ace. Okay, brand new start. Brand new energy, winds of change. Makes sense. We're talking about the sword suit here. It's the end of a difficult situation. expect things to get better now, and you're going to have like new inspiration. So you're going to feel revived again. We then have the star, which is the overall energy of this reading right now. Happy times, positive, optimistic, long-term plans, being on the right path. It is following your North Star. It is following the inner compass. It is being guided by spirit. Okay. And then we have the Lovers and Balance. It's just like, I just get pure harmony, love of life, feeling good. Like, that's all it is. Like, as soon as the Lovers came out, nothing about like, oh, I'm in love with somebody or blah, 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 blah. It wasn't that. It didn't feel like that. It felt like this overall type of energy of love. There may be a need for like them to they're reiterating like taking a really balanced approach to any decision that you have to make. And the balance that they're giving me is between your human aspect and your soul, your intuition. So it's one of those things where, like, remember, I always remind you that like if you get a download or if you get intuitive hit for something, at no point is spirit expecting you to kind of like abandon all wisdom. Like, you didn't go through all that shit for nothing to not apply it within your life. It's just like using the discernment on how. And so, because sometimes we can get like downloads and we're like, oh, and then we forget all fucking common sense, right? And just imagine some airy fairy scenario of how it's going to happen. And it's like, okay, yes, these things are happening, and yes, you should be following this, but it takes like, don't forget all these other practical approaches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's there's a balance to that. So in how you're maneuvering and making decisions as this new path opens up, make sure it's a balanced approach, okay? That you use your intuition, but you also apply your fucking wisdom, basically, okay? Okay. All right. So far, it's funny because it feels so matter of fact. The energy's just this. And I'm like, okay, when am I going to get swept up into the message? Because that was just like, we got what? 5 cards, and it was very to the point. I'm like, okay, which is kind of nice. Sometimes it's really difficult when we're having to like do this shit, you know, and like try to make something like, come on, spirit, spit it out. And then other times I'm like that was really fast. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they're pulling me over here. Give me a hot sec. All right, Messenger Oracle. Sometimes we got to get the mundane out, right? And then the juicy bits come out. I'm expecting that. You know, it's just a reminder that sometimes don't confuse peace for boredom. Like, our body, remember we talked yesterday about coming off the chaos train, and somehow, even though everything around us is just peachy keen, our body still vibrates a little bit at the frequency of chaos, and it's like waiting for that to die down. And when you are so used to having to wade through that shit, you know, and being exhausted from it, when you have peace and a reserve of energy, it can come across like, what do I do? And it's like, you wanted to get to this place for some time. So be happy and content with it. You don't have to have struggle. You don't have to have that or like this, like I'm always clamoring for the next goal in order to be satiated in life. You just may not know what to do with this. I'll be honest with you, right? If you reach a place of happy times, optimism, all that kind of, and didn't I say I was getting like the six of cups energy, like just a return to joy and things like that. That's what this is. That's what the star card is saying. And so just remember that this moment is a time to create. This moment is a time to come up with, as you're making your decisions, Be very considerate, right? Don't make any decisions or moves to create some sense of excitement or feeling of movement just for the like just for the sake of the feeling. Like be really strategic about what you're doing. If you feel a need to like I want to engage in something, make sure it's something that is going to people sometimes will just do things and it's like stirring the pot instead of actually taking them somewhere. It's like they just need energy moving, right? Like you just got off of feeling like you're like this and you're vibrating like this, and it feels so awkward and weird that it's like you're just like you're so used to having so much surge and having to sift through so much energy through your own being that you're like, I just want any kind of energy. And it's like, no, 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 no. We don't want just any kind. Okay. You need a bit more, be a bit more strategic, lest you start to stir the pot and create something that's chaotic again. And I know that that's not on your mind. It's just be aware of when you start to feel, when you start to question how things feel in your body. You know what I mean? It's like restless leg syndrome is what I'm thinking, right? You know, when you're laying there and your body just can't be happy laying still. Like it's so peaceful laying in your bed at night, and it's you're so relaxed, and it's like your body's got just gotta move. I just gotta move. Gotta move my leg. You know, it's like, oh my God. It's like that. It's like that. And so find a more productive, appropriate way to one, I feel like you're gonna need to it's like inviting the right energies into your sphere, right energies into your body. Um, because sometimes we make dumb decisions just to get energy going because it feels weird, and it's like you need to be making decisions that help your body to acclimate to the peace and isn't so addictive to the chaotic energy. But you also need to, when your body's ready for movement, when your body's ready to channel energy and ready to do, make sure it's appropriate, right? Make sure that it is to your benefit. Heed your dreams. Be vigilant and seek the lesson. The lesson is learning to be okay with the peace, the calm, the happiness. People can, and this is science, guys, this is neuroscience. We get easily addicted to the dopamine hits, especially when we are deficient on that. And so this is why you see people drawn to the dramatics of everything in life. You see it on social media. You see it in the real world. I'm seeing videos all over the place right now where people are acting the fuck out. I mean, unhinged over nothing. And it's like, sometimes that dopamine can give us a sense of false control, it's our brains get addicted to it. It will get addicted to it, and it takes it's a bit of a transition into cultivating that through other sources versus negative. Like negative energy is potent, it's powerful, and it's addictive. It just is, right? And the lesson here in this transitory period is learning to exist and to satiate all those energetic needs without feeding that little addictive monster in our head, right? Find the appropriate outlets to do that so that we don't recreate chaos in our life. I also get the sense of heeding your dreams and being vigilant, meaning that sometimes, like that need to move, like we will try to, we won't be satiated with the paced progress towards something. We want it right now. And that is that little energetic monster, the devil card, the thing that is addicted to certain things. It's like, no, I want to be satiated right now. And it's like, we have to find joy in the comfort, in the pleasures of everyday life. We have to find joy in the peace and being content. We're just so used to, like, you may have a draw to want to satiate something within you. Like, it's just like a drive. I just, and it's like, we don't know how to, because we're always looking for the next hit, the next hit, the next thing, the next thing. Okay, I've done this, now this, now this. And it's like, we really don't understand how to go through the journey. We try to skip over any type of journey, because once we get there, we're going to try and do something else. And then we're going to try to, you know what I mean? Because you're going to have to deal with this one or the other. Let's say you've got a goal and you get to that fucking goal. Now you're going to have to figure out how to be happy and contentment in that energy. And you've hit that goal, but you're like, no. Like, something feels restless in you. Like, it needs that energy. It needs to feed itself, kind of thing. And it's like, you should fucking be like, why are you constantly feeling you need to search something out, or you need some kind of, you know what I mean? And you're just like, why am I not just happy? Why does it feel bored? Why am I not satisfied with this? Because you didn't allow yourself to acclimate this lesson along the way. So when you finally get that ultimate thing that you are working towards, you will not fucking be happy with it. You will not know how to just stay in the energy of joy, optimism, contentment. You know what I'm saying? You won't know how to create excitement without seeking some type of you won't know how to seek the excitement in the most appropriate ways for you. You can end up resorting to very destructive methods of doing such. And so it's like, you see these people all the time in life, they get to a certain place and they fucking whatever we would call squander it. Like, how are you not happy? Because they didn't allow themselves to seek the lesson in the process. So they're constantly skipping over the process, trying to get to this point, and so by the time they get to a particular goal they were working on, they're just now going to create a whole fucking new one. It's like they are hungry and crave the craving. They don't know how to just be satiated. And so they're like, understand that there is a benefit to the climb, to working towards something incrementally and appropriately, right? Not trying to cut corners. And not to be dissatisfied just because something isn't exactly how you pictured it right here, right now. They're like, no, be vigilant. Be vigilant in this. Keep going. And the funny thing is, the energy that I came into this with was one of peace and being happy with it. So it's not like in this heeding your dreams and going for it and going after something that you have any reason to be dissatisfied. It's not like you're in the lack energy as you're working towards something. You're not. You will be, it's a very pleasant energy. But that part of you that's so used to working hard for something, or clamoring, or desiring something, and like drooling after it, and just, I gotta have that desperation, you are addicted. Ooh, you are addicted to the desperation. Okie dokie. And you have to unlearn that in this next phase. You have to let go of that, relinquish that. That's the lesson. Okay. So you're used to clamoring, so used to being in the I don't have, that when you have, you try to create a new reason why you don't have. Because it feeds the monster up here. That's giving me strength card right there. Remember the beast within. Okay. Okay. I feel like we want to go a little bit more with Star card, it does say it's making optimistic, positive, long-term plans. You're so used to that desperate energy that most of what you seek has been the band-aid for the heart attack. It's like it doesn't really do anything for the situation, but you're always in the sense of desperation for something. What are you going to do? That it's like being in desperation for I have to have at least this met. And so when it's almost like you couldn't focus on anything long term. There's always like a short term fire to put out, or a short term, crisis that you had to deal with. And so it's like they're also saying, don't create a new crisis. Take this time to build. This is going to be the opportunity for you to actually be able to focus long term. To take the steps that are necessary that are going to help 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, that put you on solid ground permanently, right? It's like you haven't been able to really try to get to your dreams and do anything towards your dreams because of all these little fires you constantly have to put out. Because you've always been in desperation mode for at least an extended period of time in the past. And it's like, that's really where you're at. There's this transition is saying you're going to be in a space. Don't squander it by trying to create a new thing to be desperate for or to whatever. It's like things will feel good and be satiated. Take this opportunity to build, which is what you've wanted to do all along. Is to, creation isn't something, it takes a long time. To really create something beautiful, you take your time with it. Artists will tell you see all the time on the internet, this took me 1,100 hours. It's like they build and they build, they really until something, and it's the entire process is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. But if you're always used to hopping to just some endpoint, you don't know how to do that. Between the sense of desperation, or even if you did at one point, you've lost that cultivation. It seems like a long lost skill, right? You're so used to rushing and being desperate to get to this point just so that you can, and oh my God, no, another fire to put out. Oh, and then, that you don't know what it's like. It feels very awkward to take that paced and actually you may feel guilty or wrong for the amount of attention and energy you can put in to going after your dream. I've never been able to put this much attention and energy into something like this. I've always had to be pulled in 20 different directions. I don't understand, and it may feel boring to you. You may feel awkward. You may feel like, but I should be doing something. And it's like, you are. You are. Okay? I went out and saw the fireworks for 4th of July, and I got ate up. So that's why I be scratching. Because I'm sweet like that. So let's talk a little bit more about this. Let's prepare you for this energy of you're on the right path and being able to make long-term plans. I see brilliant new ideas and inspirations coming in. And you actually, we knew it was going to go out. So that isn't taken as a sign. But man, some of these, look at how much wax is left in there. Like, I save these so I can melt the wax down to build a new candle. Because this batch that I got, they don't usually do that. They usually all the way down. This batch is like, but like this is where you want it to be able to do this. I feel like for a long time you're like, if only these things could be taken care of, then I could focus on, like, I could really put true energy into this. But life, right? Life. And I think things are going to hit a space where you're taken care of. There's no fires to be put out. You have no reason to feel desperate. And I feel like you're like, I've always had this dream, but I've never been able to work on it without also having the distraction of 50 million other fucking things. And I never was in a place where I didn't feel like I always had a reason to be angry. Like, if I'm meant to do this, or if this is my joy, why can't I focus on it? Like, if this is what I feel called to, or this is what I feel drawn to, why can't I, why has life always gotta, and suddenly life doesn't. This is new. So I get to actually do this. It reminds me of that reading that I did when it said, sometimes you can feel like sometimes a situation happens where all the things are removed, and so you're really at a clean slate. You're at the beginning, the start of the line, this new path, and it's like, because of it, there's nothing standing in your way. There's so many opportunities. There's so much you could do that you almost don't know what to do. It feels, there's like, sometimes when there's too much opportunity and too much freedom, you feel like you don't know how to hone it back in and focus on something, right? I mean, I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to worry about this. And so now I can just do what I want. And you're like, I don't fucking know how I want to do this. Oh shit. I never had the opportunity to think about it. Like, every time you were formulating plans and trying to figure out a way to make something happen, there was always parameters around. And so it was easy because you were like, you had all these no, 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 no. So you're like, okay, then I can do this, and then I can do this, and then I can do this, right? And so you're so used to creating pathways, ideas, and methods within constraints that when there's not constraints, you feel confused. There's always at least a starting point. You know what I mean? When there's all these little things in your life that act as obstructions, it's almost like you're so used to whittling it down and saying, okay, all these things can't happen, so I must start here. And it gave you a starting point. Now you don't have anything that says you can't do it any of these ways. So you don't know how to whittle it down. You don't fucking know how to whittle it down to start something. You're like, just being told, just start anywhere, kind of feels a little bit like a fish out of water just flopping the fuck around. Okay. Thank you. Oh my God. On the fucking split, I shit you fucking not. Ace of air, ace of water. This is such a brand new, this path, this trajectory, this idea that you're going after, this thing brings in so much. Like, this is between, like, first off, Here's the merriment. Remember I said over here, there's this idea, this balance is between your human, the air, your thoughts, and then your intuition, the water. But it is also like these ideas are going to bring in so much abundance, so much this inspiration. You bring in so much emotional joy. Like the potentiality is really big. And sometimes that can feel overwhelming. Our humans like boxes. Our humans like, which is why breaking out of the matrix can be so difficult. This is why we succumb to programming so easily. Like, just tell me how to do it. And like when the universe goes, well, technically there's processes, but there's no way to do it. There's no instructions. So you can employ a process, but it can look a million different fucking ways for everybody. And you're like, I don't want that. I mean, you did. But when you're given it, you're like, your human is like, I don't know. I'm not so sure. All righty then. It's like you have the license to be creative now. And like you almost forgot how to. Like you had to cultivate the ability to be creative within constraints, within lines, within boxes, within parameters. And so that took on a more analytical approach to creation, right? Like your analytical mind was creative in and of itself. The mind can be very creative. But to have complete free liberty is just so foreign. So how do you plan? How do you start? How do you any of that? Hold on. They're singing Moana to me. I crap you not. I'm just looking down and I said to myself, we've got the page of water. I was like, oh, she's bringing the cup of water in, like the Ace of Cups, right? But then they brought me to this. And as soon as I look at the necklace, they start singing that Moana song to me. And now I gotta how far I'll go. Oh. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is from Moana, all right? Give credit where credit is due. But it says, I've been staring at the edge of the water, long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be the perfect daughter, but I come back to the water no matter how hard I try. Where's it? Wait. Is this the one? This is not the one. This is not the one. Okay. I gotta find it. That's gotta be the one. That's gotta be it. I didn't see the chorus they're singing to me. Okay. Every turn I take, every trail I track, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I cannot go, where I long to be. It calls me and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. Where's the one where it says it calls? Oh, here it is. And the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know how far I'll go. Like, it seems like it's calling out to me. So come find me and let me know what's beyond that line. Will I cross that line? Okay. We're getting serious here. It sounds so much more lighthearted in my head. Something's calling you, because she talks about in this song, everyone else seems so happy on this island. Everything is by design. We talked about the boxes being operating within the matrix, operating within all the limitations and the lines and the things that are put in place. She's talking about, she can pretend and try to be satisfied if she plays along, but the voice inside sings a different song. And she wants to know what's wrong. So you have a desire, and you're about to get the opportunity to do this, but you're so used to operating. This makes perfect fucking sense. You're so used to operating within the design that's been laid out for you by society and by your life, all the parameters that have existed. And when they no longer exist, you take the opportunity that's before you right now, and you go there, but you feel like you don't know how to do it. You're like, I need wind in my sails. I need something to help push me. Will I cross that line? If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. Which is exactly what they're saying. Be vigilant, stick with it. You want to know if it's possible, and Spirit says, keep going towards your dreams. Something is going to remove all those. You might feel scared to try to implement or create something without all these parameters that goes beyond these parameters when they're no longer there, and it feels too expansive, like the ocean, like the sea, and you don't know. You're like, and Spirit, and I feel like Spirit's like, keep going, keep heeding the dream. So you may be standing at the precipice of those lines being removed. I can only imagine. Most people have seen Moana. I hope a lot of people have. And when she finally gets over that crest and how expansive everything is, it's all too easy to turn right back around and go back, because this goes on forever. There's safety in what I know. There's safety in the parameters. There's safety in the little fires that I have to put out. There's safety in all of that. I know how to operate that. What I see before me is a wide open ocean and no land in sight. And I have to go into this blindly. She could, like you, where you're like, without the parameters and knowing where to start, without whittling it down, I don't know how to get there. I don't know how do I even start? And it's just, you start. She didn't know. She didn't know what direction she was going. She didn't know if she was even going towards land. She just had to go. And sometimes she had to be her own wind in the sails, right? It can get scary. We ask for the moment, right? We ask for this moment for all those things to be removed. And when they are we going to go there? Will we honor the call, heed the dream, be vigilant? That's the lesson that's right here. So you're about to have your obstacles, your parameters removed. This is your true golden opportunity to go after this, to really take this as if it's your long term. You're on the right path to make this dream a reality. And so so many people, when they get to this spot, it's like they're so used to putting out fires. Instead of seeing the opportunity that's in front of them, they see it as danger, because there's a part of you that seeks the danger. There's a part of you that seeks the fear, because there's something in it that your body is addicted to. And they just said there's nothing to fear but fear itself, right? We all know that saying. And that's the idea. Remember, in traditional Rider-Waite, when the page shows up, there's a fish in it. There's more to this than you realize. There's so much abundance to be had. There's so much to experience from this. There's more in this opportunity than you realize. This is a yes. Spirit is encouraging you to continue on, to keep going, keep doing it. She had no clue which way she was going. There wasn't any GPS. There wasn't any, it was just a belief, a calling, a knowing. And that if I'm really meant to go, no matter what direction or what step I take, Spirit will ensure the wind will direct me, right? Like, I'll get there. This is you standing your ground, standing your beliefs. It's the 9 of Wands. And this is the follow through, the level of determination that you need to have. And it's so different. The experience is going to be so different. We don't realize that having to cultivate that determination when there were obstacles was really training us and building up the strength and wherewithal to have the determination when those obstacles aren't really there anymore. People don't realize the wherewithal and the strength and the level of determination you have to have when there are no parameters. That's real bravery. That is going into the unknown. The only thing that will stop you, because the obstacles will be removed, is going to be your own mind, the 8 of Swords. It'll be your own entrapment. No one, they keep giving me, no one knows how far I'll go. I don't think that's the lyrics, but that's what they're saying to me. But it's literally, no one can tell you. No, there's no guarantee. Your mind is so used to operating within the red tape, within the maze, trying to create something within all of these. That it's almost like because they're giving me it's like you recognize the level of risk that's involved. We've got the Queen of Cups with the 5 of Cups. So you're so used to all the failures and not making it and seeing how you couldn't because of all the parameters that you assume the same would be true. Like maybe the fear just isn't real. You're so used to having to have an eagle eye view of the maze to try and find your way out so that you don't get into any traps. You're used to a landmine and having to calculate and everything else like that. That you can't imagine just following your intuition and following your heart will get you there. No. Something somewhere is going to happen. It can't be that easy. And the truth of the matter, it's not because there's something external or hidden or anything else like that. It's because it's all solely your willpower, your desire, your follow through, your focus, your determination. That's it. It all rests on you. Which could almost make any perceived failure that much more disheartening, soul crushing. Because it's always, when there's something external, we always have something to say, that's because I couldn't do this and da. But when it's this type of a moment, it's all on you whether it happens or not. And that might be the fear, is that if I don't follow through and I don't meet some goal, it's like you want to have some goal close by because you're used to doing that, putting out the fires, that you can go, oh, okay, I've made progress. Oh, okay, I've made progress. But when the goal is further down and it's about the process, it's about the fucking journey, you don't have any achievements per se, milestones that you can hold on to give you the level or sense of accomplishment that gives you your self-confidence. This is just pure grade A internal power. Belief in the self, willingness to fight for what you believe, and just going for it. The lesson is not having milestones and these attachment to so-called outcomes of certain things. It is just the doing, it's just going. It's a whole new way of operating, and it's scary. So your little ego is going to try to throw a fit because it feels weird and awkward, and it must mean that something bad. And it doesn't. I didn't mean to pull that one out. Can you follow your dreams without having conflict in your life? That's what it is. That's what this next phase is. And it may sound so oversimplistic, but you're going to realize soon as you start to do it that it's a complete utter change, and your internal realm isn't used to it. And it's going to feel scary. And your mind might try to tell you, oh, well, I mean, maybe there's no real reason to go after this then. Oh, well, there's all kinds of stories that could be thrown in. Those are all just parameters, boxes, because that's how your brain is used to operating. Your ego is used to that. You're going to get the green light. And you've just never had the green light before in your life. They're bringing me back to the animal that's been caged up their entire life. And it's time to, because something happened to them when they were a baby, and they had to be rehabilitated and everything else. So they don't know true freedom, like a bird that has like a condor that's been put into some kind of facility or something like that. And so when they bring them out, whether it's a lion or just imagine any animal, and they have those big containers, and they get out into the wild, and they finally lift the gate up, right? And it takes a few minutes for the animal to come out. They just don't trust it. And then even when they do, you'd think that they immediately fly off, but they don't even know. They don't even know that their wings aren't clipped anymore. And they've never done that. What do you do when that's no longer part of your modus operandum? What is it? Modus operandi? Whatever the thing, your mode of operating is basically what it means. I'm just trying to get it. Like, we wanted this. We asked for this. We've got the Four of Swords next to the Five of Wands, or the Five of Swords. It's like, it's peace when you're used to conflict. It's peace within the mind when it's used to having to always jump through hoops to figure something out, to look at something from 10 different directions, to come up with that plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because there's all of these other things. It's trying to keep us safe, and it's like, you're not in that space now. You're not in survival mode. Everybody thinks that they want to get to this place where they can just enjoy life. And it's a lot more difficult on the heels of the chaos train to get into that. The first 100 steps you take, you're consistently always anticipating some type of difficulty, conflict, obstacle. And every time you take, and so when Spirit's saying there isn't one, you don't believe it. You don't even believe it when you look and you're like, it looks good, but it's a trap. Like, you keep, and it's like, you're going to have to just walk and do. You're going to have to be vigilant. You have to keep going. Things are actually in a better mode. They're in a better place. It's not the Ten of Swords anymore. This is the Ace of Swords. You are on the new path. It's like your mind has to let go, and like it just can't believe it. It doesn't believe it. I'm just like, full steam ahead. 9 of Wands, full steam ahead. They're not saying that your mind completely no longer has to be a part of this process, but that, remember, we went into the whole following your intuition doesn't mean you abandon wisdom, right? Your mind, you didn't go through everything not to be able to utilize those things. It's not about your mind not having a place. It's just that your mind doesn't have to do all these tricks anymore. Your mind gets the opportunity to operate in a way where, instead of creating things to keep you safe, it can literally just help with the creation of your dreams. This is just going to be a change, and it's going to be a scary one. And there's going to be moments where you feel like you are totally fucking convinced because you can't see. You're at that line where the entire fucking ocean is in front of you. And you're like, you're going to assume any direction you go, some trap is going to be there. And really, the only trap is that, your mind. That's the thing that's scary about this. That is what is scary. But what your mind is projecting is not reality. You can actually start moving towards this dream, towards this goal. And you can actually enjoy all the steps. And there won't be a million fires to put out, a million parameters and limitations. Everything's going to be free and clear. The path is clear. This is the right path. It really is just the epitome of you answering the call. And the only thing that's going to stop you is your mind. That's the only thing. So. Thanks, Manishka. Appreciate it. Okay. Now I just feel like the need to go and listen to this Moana song. No one knows how far I'll go. Not even you. This is nice. Very nice. Hi, Blissful. Sorry about that. There wasn't a list. So. All right. That was the message for today. It'll reach whoever it's meant to. I hope everybody has a fantastic and wonderful day. And I will be back on. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your Friday.